Probably a couple times a month, a dog trainer calls me up or sends me a message or an email and tells me that their web hosting company is holding their dog training business website hostage. Here's how to keep that from happening to you. Stick with me. So you've got three things. You've got your domain name, you've got your web hosting company, and then you've got the software that runs your website, like WordPress. Okay, so the domain name is like adamsdogtraining.com. That domain name points to, or you can point it to, any web hosting company that you want. The web hosting company, web hosting is basically like a company that has a computer in a warehouse. And on that computer sits the software that runs your website, like WordPress, for example. I'm oversimplifying, but basically that's the way it works. What happens with a lot of web hosting companies and a lot of dog training business owners who just simply aren't technologically that sophisticated, they buy or they register their domain name through the web hosting company. Maybe it's part of a package deal where they give you a free domain name in exchange for signing up for hosting with them. The problem with that is that every maybe year to 2 years, frequently, these web hosting companies turn bad. They start doing all kinds of nonsense, like all of a sudden you'll find that you've got a virus on your website and they want to upsell you some additional super expensive hosting package to deal with to prevent the virus from happening again. And there's a lot of speculation in the industry that maybe the web hosting companies are actually doing this just as a way to upsell you to a more expensive package. The problem is that when you want to change and go to a different web hosting company, if you've registered your domain through the web hosting company, they can make it very, very difficult for you to leave, almost like holding your website hostage. So I'm going to show you how to get around that and make sure in advance, before that kind of thing happens, you're set up so that you can protect yourself and very easily switch from one hosting company to another hosting company and not have your domain name held hostage. Here's how you do it. If you've already registered your domain name through your web hosting company, you want to contact your web hosting company and tell them you want to initiate a domain name transfer to a domain register. The one that I recommend, actually, I recommend two, either namecheap.com or godaddy.com. I personally use namecheap.com because I'm more familiar with it. And at the time when I investigated GoDaddy, there were a lot of upsells with GoDaddy. It's still a good service, though. You can use it and you'll be all right. So either Namecheap or GoDaddy, all they do is they register the domain name. Now, they do offer actually web hosting packages also. Don't use them. They're terrible. All you want is you want to use them as a domain registration service so that every year they'll charge you an extra 12 or 13 bucks to re-register your domain name. But you can point your domain name at whatever web hosting company, like SiteGround, for example, or any other web hosting company that you want. And it's completely separate, so you won't be held hostage. So, for example, I host my websites with SiteGround. That's the web hosting company that I'm currently using. Probably in a year or two, I'll be using somebody else when they screw up big time, which happens a lot with these web hosting companies. And so all I would need to do then is go log into my Namecheap account and tell Namecheap, instead of pointing the domain to this web hosting company, point it to this other web hosting company that now has the computer that has the software like WordPress that runs my website. So I can very easily go from one hosting company to the next to the next. Now, on top of that, what you might want to do is if you're using WordPress to run your website, which is one of the most popular basically website software, you can use a plugin called All-in-One Migration that makes it very, very easy, like one-click easy to back up your website onto one file that you keep on your computer in your house or in your office, and then you can, with one click, re-upload that website to another hosting company, another WordPress install. So it makes it very, very easy. Now, this may be a little bit complicated, but it's not that big of a deal. You can figure it out fairly quickly. Here's what you do. When you signed up for your web hosting, or when you sign up for a new web hosting package, or maybe you lost it, so you contact your current web hosting company and you ask them, what are my name servers? They're going to give you two numbers, basically two lines of numbers. It'll be like NS123.456.789. And then the second one will be NS2 123.456.789. That's the address, like the computer language address for the web hosting company. You're going to log into your Namecheap or your GoDaddy account, and there'll be a section that says custom name servers, and you're just going to copy and paste those 2 lines right in that section. And if you can't figure out how to do that, just contact the tech support at Namecheap or GoDaddy, and they'll do it for you. What that does is it points that domain name at whatever web hosting company you're using, so that when the web hosting company decides to jerk you around a little bit, you can just set up a new web hosting company and go into Namecheap and point it to from this one to that one, and you're all good. Guys, I have a chronic migraine condition. Sometimes I don't communicate as clearly as maybe I would otherwise. So if this doesn't make sense, or if you're unclear about something, please post in the comment section below this video. If you're watching it in the Dog Trainer Marketing Group on Facebook, which by the way is free to join. We've got over 2,600 dog training business owners just like yourself, sharing secrets and tactics and swapping tips about what works to help them grow their dog training business. Also, if you didn't know, we run Google Ads for dog training business owners, presumably just like yourself, as well as some dog daycare and grooming and dog boarding kennel businesses. If you'd like to learn more, check out dogtrainertoolbox.com. In the upper left-hand corner, there's a box that says Expert Google Ads Management for Dog Trainers Only. Click on that button, read through that page if it makes sense, because that page explains everything from how much it costs and expected ad spend budget and how many leads you should get. If it makes sense, scroll through that page. At the bottom, there's a link to my calendar app. You can book a free 30-minute phone consultation with me so that we can get on the phone and find out if what we're doing with Google Ads would be a good fit for helping you grow your dog training business. Hey, I'm Adam Katz for dogtrainertoolbox.com. We'll talk to you soon, guys.